lured to go to Russia with the promise of good job, of education, training, and then once they are there, they are forced to sign a contract, or they are deceived to sign a contract in Russian, a language they don't understand, and they end up in the front, on the Ukrainian front, enrolled in the army.
Vincent is another Kenyan who was recruited under similar circumstances. He returned to Kenya in late 2025.
Mimi naitwa Vincent Dongo. Ukifika Russia ulikuwa uwekewe bonus before salary. Sasa before uanze kazi kuna bonus. Bonus ni 1.6 million. So mimi nilikuwa najua naenda military, lakini kwa my sense haikuhit ati tutaenda war. Na hiyo job 1 year contract.
The government of Kenya issued warnings and in fact busted a cell of recruiters. In the West Africa country of Ghana, the recruitment is ongoing.
The Russian side were using a lot of influential, or let me say influencers, in the African side of things, and also celebrities and well-known figures to lure most of these young guys. So like we often say, the devil finds job for the idle hand. So these are unemployed guys. So the little you give them would attract them to go. So if I could probably buy your plane ticket for you, and then I will fly you all the way from your country where you don't have a job, everybody will easily fall for it. And these are people who don't have jobs. And as I said, it cut across. Why did it cut across? Because you realize that when you connect the dots from the beginning to the end, people were outrightly deceived. And they were deceived because they were desperate. Desperate because they didn't even read the contract that they were given. And these are contracts that are in foreign language, Russian language. So they didn't have the chance to even ask for an interpreter. All they knew from the conversation I've had with a few of them was that they were just interested in a figure of how much they were going to be paid. Translated from the Russian rubles to dollars for me. And it was $2,000+. So everybody was like, oh, then I'll do it. You understand? So
Russia keeps denying this, but it's clearly a lie. They are well aware of this fact because it's a state-backed policy that Russia has been developing since 2023, when they saw that what they thought would be a very short war in Ukraine was getting much longer, and they are running out of human resources, of soldiers to be sent to the front, and this is why they went to Africa to try to lure some African men and send them as a fighter on the front.
If it is happening in South Africa, Kenya and Ghana, there is a high possibility that Nigeria is affected too. Adewale is a Nigerian who lived in Russia.
Oh, my name is Adewale.
He was almost recruited into the war.
But when I got arrested, I was sentenced to 2 years in prison. I was given 3 documents, 3 big documents. I was like, they gave me 3 documents. One is a military contract that I'm signing. I'm trying to sign as a it's not even a Russian military. This is a contract military that I'm signing as a contract military.
Is it in English?
No, it was in Ruski.
For instance, those who were picked from the prison to go and fight in the front and just trained for 2 or 3 weeks, that's coercion. The prisoner has no choice. He has no will. He's at your mercy. Now you're telling him, it's either you go to the front or you continue to rot in prison. And so he fancies a chance of freedom. Also, the ones who were recruited from Nigeria and other parts of Africa, that's fraud because they were not told what they were going to do over there.
Others are not so lucky.
Dear customer, the MTN number you have dialed is not reachable at the moment. Please try again later. Thank you.
Going through Stephen Udoka Mba's profile, you will see he tried everything. From gambling to event catering, to selling land, farming, politics, academics, and even content creation. He just wanted a break. He had a wife and children to feed, and he had parents who had expectations. It's the same for Kolawole Kazim. He didn't just gamble, he also ran a small gambling business. He had a family, a wife and 3 children. It was said that in the build-up to him joining the war, he complained a lot about life. He had gotten a quick notice from his landlord, and things didn't seem to be working for him. At the time of this report, I am told his wife does not know because she is heavily pregnant.
It's very unfortunate we commiserate with the families of those Nigerians that have been killed in the Russian-Ukraine war, whatever side of it. And once we get more information about these families, I'm sure the federal government of Nigeria, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will say what can be done in terms of consoling them. However, I want to continuously warn young Nigerians, as we've always done. It's usually not greener on the other side. And those who are thinking of still taking these dangerous journeys, don't do it. Don't do it, because at the end of the day, it's tales of war, destruction, sorrow that you bring to your family.
How many foreigners have we seen exchange as a prisoner of war among the exchanging that the Russian government is doing? How many foreigners have we seen in this exchanging between the Ukraine and the Russia when they are exchanging the prisoner of war? How many? These guys don't even realize that they are not Russian military. They don't know. Most of them cannot read this Russian language. They can't read it. And they were not allowed to have a translator to do this for them, to translate everything for them.
Duncan shares how the sight and the sound of drones still give him PTSD.
Hiyo vitu nazo ni noma.
Kwa sababu bado iko kwa masikio.
Lakini unajua mimi hata kuna siku tulipigwa na hiyo landmine, hiyo nini electronic mine, venye miguu zangu zikakuja. Unajua ile ilarua boots na ikanifikia miguu. Sasa nilipokuwa nimepotea masikio, sikuwa nasikia. Kifo tu, kila wakati ni kifo, kila wakati kifo. Nothing else. Nilipuka tu na watu kukufa. Nimshukuru Mungu sana niliposhuka huku Kenya. Maisha haijakuwa rahisi. In the battlefield haijakuwa rahisi hata kidogo.
But ile shida nilikuwa nayo, sikuwaambia nimeenda wapi. So mi tukiongea na Maadhi kila siku, namwambia niko job. Wapi? Nilienda country ingine. But tukimalizana kuongea na yeye, unapata damu henia. Ndio kule hadi. So ilikuwa tukiongea, nimekosea. Ndienda kumwira tondu nikitoka huku Maadhi alikuwa amenikanya.
The South African government investigated and warned citizens. Uganda raised concerns. The UN Human Rights Office flagged potential trafficking elements if recruitment was fraudulent and exploitative.
Well, the EU is ready to support African governments, regional organizations, civil society to help put an end to this trafficking of human beings to be used as cannon fodder on the Ukrainian front. So it's of course important for African governments and organizations to take the lead, because when we do that, we are accused of being partial, of being of not telling the truth. So it's important to show that this is not what we are saying. This is what civil society, many testimonies, media, and African government themselves are saying, so that we lead this campaign together, but with an African lead to really succeed in stopping this phenomenon.
We have been very proactive in carrying out public education, sensitizing the public in Ghana that they should not fall for these modus operandi of the criminal trafficking network. And we think that we have been largely successful. We also have very strong working relations with the Ukrainian embassy in Accra.
If they are trying to recruit Nigerians to fight in Nigeria, in Ukraine by any unlawful means, this is not connected with Russian state. And if anybody has this information, we are ready to send that information to Russian law enforcement authorities in order they could investigate that cases.
Comfort is in her late weeks of pregnancy, waiting patiently and eagerly to see her bouncy baby girl's face. But this journey did not come easy. She has had to endure the excruciating pain of labor, compounded by weeks of a dreadful bumpy experience on the Lake Bosomtwi Road to access the only hospital serving her and many other pregnant women in her community.
The road is in bad state. We the pregnant women suffer so much on it.
Beyond the walls of the St. Michael's Hospital lies the only major highway stretching through the Bosomtwi district of the Ashanti region. From dodging a pothole to running into an unforeseen one, navigating one's way on the untarred Lake Bosomtwi Road from Kumasi city centre is an arduous and tortuous journey. Drivers and passengers who ply the route must dance to the rhythm of the road.
I have abdominal pains, so I'm unable to use the road. Because of the road, I don't visit the hospital frequently.
Comfort's experience may be one of the least dreadful ones. Many pregnant women who commuted to the hospital have had their share of the drudgery and pain.
The jerky and bumpy nature of the road.
Mariam Nimako is the head of the maternity department at the hospital. She recounts the pain of pregnant patients and the burden she and her staff must go through to save both lives of a mother and her child.
Sometimes when they get here, some will come with complications like bleeding. Some they rupture their membranes prematurely and all that, yeah. But others too, when they are in labor, they deliver on the road, on their way coming. Sometimes they will deliver even in the car, and the cold and other things. They will get here, the baby is either severely asphyxiated. When I say severely asphyxiated, it means the baby is not breathing very well. And in asphyxiation, we have 1 minute. That's the first golden minute of the baby's life to resuscitate the baby, for the baby to breathe very well. Yeah, so if we lose or we miss that golden minute, the baby might develop some brain damage and all that.
Some expectant mothers have been unlucky.
Other times it leads to placenta abruptio, where the placenta detaches before